There it is. Howdy do, everybody. Let's see if it goes on over here. Howdy do. One day I'm going to start the stream and not be clicking everywhere. Okay, so how's everyone? 117 in Arizona. Y'all need to quit playing. That's just right now.
That's too much.
Now, mind you, it was supposed to be 98 one day here, 93 the next day. And we live Pacific Northwest, so there's no air conditioning in anywhere because it wasn't supposed to be this hot, says Jesus. And so that was fun. But one day we got a 93 and we beat the heat, actually, because we do have an air conditioning unit and basically just staged the fans throughout the house to where I actually got chills. So it was like 10 degrees in the house. So we beat the heat. Then the next day the clouds came in and then the sun went away where it was supposed to go back to hell where it belongs. So
well, I figure they heard Becca was coming, so they were heating it up a little.
We've been in the 70s here. I think today it was like 76, 77.
Our temps have gone back down. We have an 80s something today, but it's not hot as in because it's summertime, so it's supposed to be a little warm, but it's not ridiculous to where you can't go anywhere. And so that whole 90-something business, though, that I don't know who said it. I don't know who ordered that, but stop it.
I was showing Johnny the catnip harvest of today, and there's like 20 times this amount in the garden.
That's like 12 kilos right there, Daddy.
Nip for sale.
You're going to have 99 cats outside the house tomorrow.
they're all buzzed and kind of mellowing out from it now.
And I heard you got that nip in there. What can I get for $10?
I have a little line of cats on the front sidewalk.
Oh, Lord. Last week, forgot to announce, y'all go over to, if you want to, I ain't telling you what to do. Go over to Tea Time with Tanya, who was attacked a couple weeks ago. If you wish to donate, if you wish to support, just say prayers or something. Leave her a message. In the video where she posted, she was asking for, like, if you could super chat, if you could super thanks. I think it would be better if you were to go straight to her PayPal or her Cash App if she's got one and do it that way. YouTube does take a percentage of what you give to people through super chat and super thanks. And so she can get all of it because she's, self-employed. So medical bills are not cute, even though a person was caught and all that, but you can't be guaranteed to get nothing out of somebody. So there is that. Any other announcements? Anybody got anything?
August is booking up on a personal readings with me, but you can go to jinlintarot.com to book in August. Or if you want to buy a gift card for anybody, gift card for a reading, 1 hour reading.
And just for you, no middle name. Look at the book I just bought. Okay.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Oh, Lord. What do I got? Nothing. I didn't have a video posted. A few people reminded me in some time. I'm going to record tomorrow or Tuesday, one of them. Laziness won the day, and then disinterest won right after that. So it was one of them things to where we'll see what I got left over and what y'all put on the community post and all that. And then I'll just drag them out of there and put them on the YouTube.
A week from tomorrow, I'll be giving Johnny a giant bear hug, whether he likes it or not. A week from Wednesday, I'll be giving Becca a giant bear hug, and the three of us will be together for the first time.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I've already met Johnny.
It's going to be
I haven't met my Auntie Lynn. Right there. My Auntie Jenny, that I love dearly.
We met at the Cheesecake Factory, of all places.
Yeah. And Johnny tried to hug me like this.
I did not either.
He had a special t-shirt he bought for me that says, "Not a hugger," with cactus.
I bought that for both of y'all.
I'm I
I'm
don't
ready
care.
for the bear hugs, Auntie Jenny. I'm ready for them. I love them. Break my ribs if you want to. I don't care. I haven't
I'm
changed.
just worried Johnny's gonna send me home with a bag full of rocks or something.
That's this
I
one.
gotta bring
He'll
your
do it.
coffee mug because I shipped you everything else and I forgot to send the coffee mug, the Golden Girls. But
I've got
yours is
the
different
last
than-
2 years of birthday presents and Christmas presents for y'all to bring. 'Cause I am so bad about mailing things.
But it'll be fun. We'll go and see some sights, and
We'll try to go live from somewhere together so you guys can see the three of us together somewhere.
Just drop me off at Powell's and let's play Find
this
Becca.
is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You either get you an extra bag or ship them when you get here, because that store is 4 stories, and so
Yeah, just leave me there and then go play Where's Becca.
I got my Pixie Tarot deck to travel with. It's the same deck, just pixie sized.
I got my little babies over here. I'm gonna throw them in my purse.
So we're prepared a little bit anyway. That Sunday though, you'll be going back. You'll still be here, but like we may all be busy. So we'll figure out a thing to where if we don't like have to do it on Saturday or Monday or not at all, just skip a week. I don't know. We'll figure something out and we'll let y'all know ahead of time.
I'll be back in town for Sunday night. So if you guys don't make it for any reason, I'll invite somebody and continue on our tradition. We
Is it
haven't
your
missed
channel?
a Sunday for 4 years. We can't miss one now.
Is it your channel?
No, it's
Oh,
supposed to be on
Becca's channel.
Becca's. We're on mine next week.
Okay, so if we'll have to flip flop some, because we do that when Sedona and things come up, so it'll be there. We'll figure some things out and let y'all know ahead of
We
time.
could do Becca's next week, and I can pick up the following week and get owner or somebody to come join me.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm traveling nowhere. I live here, so I'll be there. I just didn't know what else would be going on at the time.
We're gonna kidnap you.
Well, go ahead. I'm okay.
That's
Just beware.
In my purse just for that purpose, you know.
That's row chewing on the catnip back here.
Mhm. You
And they
smell the
eat
beef
it.
across the room.
They eat it or do they smell it, Jenny?
They eat the leaves, they rub on it, they slobber on it, they roll on it.
So eating it doesn't make them sick like grass does for dogs? Or
It actually, Lucy, like when she's got fur balls, with all her hair, it actually kind of helps her.
oh, okay.
Or like if she eats grass, she'll throw the grass up, but the catnip, they don't throw up.
Okay.
Hmm.
You got lots of nip. You gonna sell any? I support that poison.
She got an Etsy page for catnip.
eBay.
Okay, well, speaking of drugs, you want to talk about the cocaine in the White House?
Well, we got to talk about that. We had read on Will Trump lose any more lawyers, and Helena Haba was fired this week. So
Mhm.
there
She's
she
on
went.
the list. So the question is not who's it, because who is not a
Trump's trying to say that Hunter and
Yeah.
Biden are big cokeheads. It's like
come on.
somebody's projecting. Somebody's projecting. I mean, have you seen the videos of your son, Trump?
Like if Hunter Biden, if Joe Biden was a cokehead, we'd have known this already, because all the speeches and every time he talked, you'd have seen it. Just like you've seen it with Don Jr. It's plain to see. Now, the rumor is that it was Secret Service is investigating. It was somebody visiting, or it was another rumor is it was one of the Kansas City Chiefs. That was another rumor that was spreading around. So nobody really knows just yet, but can we take a look and see how it got there? If it was planted, if somebody just forgot, oops, I got my stash in my pocket and I forgot, or what?
Have some kitties been in the White House hiding their stash?
How did it get there?
Is there it was interesting that the this was found, the timing of it and everything, with all the crap hitting Trump and the Supreme Court crap. And
They really want that Hunter Biden thing to stick.
was it planted or was it?
Thank you, Terry, for posting the question. Let's see.
I never thought I'd be asking, how did the cocaine get into the White House?
Not without cocaine being like a code word or somebody's nickname or something.
I mean, what's that movie? The Dirty Cockroach of Scarface. It's like this is an episode of Scarface or something, you know? I get that it was delivered by someone as a gift to someone else. There's mail. Widespread. There's a delivery, the visitor. Someone that visited brought it and dropped it off. Delivery. You got some mail delivery. So
I get there's going to be an action taken on this too, that somebody's going to be put in defense mode. So maybe they're caught on camera or something. There's going to be big changes around this. Somebody does cocaine all the time, and a quick, fast delivery. Yeah.
it was Matt Gaetz.
But they're trying to shift the focus is what I'm getting, trying to get attention for this. So, and I've got the bully card here, so I kind of feel like it might have been deliberately planted.
So I'm going to be petty. This is not what this says, but this is what I'm going to say. There's two women. These usually come up for Marjorie and old girl, Boebert. And maybe somebody brought it there so they can share, learn how to get along and be kinder with one another. Now that's the fun. But there is a woman in here. I don't know if she's the one who brought it in or if she was the one it was meant for, the Knight of Swords. There is someone who does this all the time. They are either high all the time on their own supply, or they're a crackhead, though. Whoever, they're not someone who just happened upon this on the front lawn and said, hey, I'm bringing this in. Here's the White House. And so they either, they're on a roll somewhere. There is some evidence of this. The Ace of Pentacles and the Sun, there is some evidence of this. This is not something that is just going to go by the wayside. There is another person attached to this, though, and there's a woman attached to him. So there's two women here and possibly one man, but two women definitely. This was meant, I think, for distribution too, to where it was paid for. So this was not just a prop. It was paid for. So there's some money that bought the drugs and then brought it in. So it was paid for. Now, what they were going to do with it, where they're just going to try to set somebody up or whatever, but that's a whole different thing. But it was paid for, so somebody broke the law.
So you're saying DoorDash?
You know, since you brought him up, MTG and Boebert, one of those needs to hook up with the Tiger King and run for as VP with him. One of those skanks needs to hook up with him.
Well, let's talk about MTG, who was allegedly kicked out of the Freedom Caucus. What they're saying right now is she's been voted out, but not officially. But everybody else is saying yes, she is out. I just want to know initially what her feelings are, and then there's another question after that. Does she even care? Because mind you, she thumbs her nose at everything.
How bad do you have to be for bad people to kick you out of their club?
Am I buffering?
No.
Buffer over here. Does she even care? Does she even care? Knight of Swords would be the card of the day.
Ooh, she's pissed.
Hmm. I didn't expect this. Okay.
She's pissed. She wants to fight. You know, that's fighting words.
Go ahead.
They moved into action trying to bring some balance back to the Republican Party here, and she's little sneaky Pete running around trying to see what else she can get away with. And she is pissed once this was done. She's hanging on by her fingernails and trying to look to see what her options are for fundraising. So she must have gotten a lot of money from them. And I get she's in cahoots with some man that she's going to bring a vote up on something.
Probably McCarthy, because she's been trying to straddle both. She's been trying to straddle both sides, the MAGA wing and McCarthy.
What's her censor Matt Gaetz or somebody like bring up a vote to censor a Republican?
I get that she's feeling very vindictive. So here's the success that she was committed to, that she was very happy about. But then there's a betrayal, and now she feels very vindictive, and she's wanting to strike out to take away from somebody, to eat away. Now, these two here are both pips. Queen of spades, queen of clubs. So there could be some issues with two other women. I don't know if it's that Laura Loomer person, because Laura Loomer came out and said she ain't just a bee, she looks like a dog too. It was
Good Lord.
Yeah.
It was a stink fight.
Yeah. It was like 2 seconds short of a mud fight with those two, So quite possibly vindication towards two other ones here. But she's wanting to take away from their success and how they're committed to certain projects and everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if she starts smearing them to take away.
Good. Do it.
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah. She is pulling down all the light fixtures on the way out the door type thing. So there's the Knight of Swords, her erratic attack behavior, and the Six of Swords. You should be able to just move on, but sometimes it's hard to do certain things because you've been bruised. There's a Three of Swords, so she does feel a betrayal. There's the Nine of Swords in the word of warning, which means this is going to get worse because it's going to live in her head in a loop. And as I say, your brain is your greatest asset and your worst enemy because it will loop the same thought over and over and over again. So she's going to stew in this. And she is going to have some sort of plan. So she has some treachery going on. By all means, please do.
You got to think, she's been embarrassed nationally now because she got kicked out of the crazy party.
She's blaming some man too, or not blaming him, but she thought she was in good with some man here.
I think that the guy that leads the Freedom Caucus, it's a man, I think. Not somebody that I'm very familiar with. It's not like a Matt Gaetz or a Jim Jordan. It's somebody else. The name is not familiar, but it's a man. So maybe she thought they were buddies, and nah, girl, nah.
Can we ask, how will this impact her in Congress? Will she suffer any consequences in Congress, like losing her congressional committees or anything?
Okay.
What you doing back there? Her and little Kevin all alone now in their huddle.
I couldn't imagine sitting and trying to have a conversation with her, at all. I don't care how crazy you are. It's just,
I would love to just see average Joe Schmo citizens troll her in and out of the building all the time, like she did David Hogue.
She got a little taste of it when she took her neighbor behind up there to New York. Okay. Okay.
That whole situation is just. I'm just sitting here with a bag of popcorn and M&Ms. Just y'all have at it.
I mean, our very last question for tonight will run in the same thread because there was another fight that broke out.
Oh, really? What did I miss?
It was on a state level, but I'll tell you about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is getting good.
And it was
our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they do nothing in the House, right? They here's a House. She is kind of out in the cold, from the Freedom Caucus, but I get that there's going to be a really strong action, and I think this is Boebert and Green, a really strong action between them, like having to defend each other or themselves against each other. I think we're about to see a big cat fight again. Big cat fight between those two, like on the House floor or something, or wherever it is. She tries to cling to her government position, and she's going to do what she always does, talk about things and betrays someone. And I think she's going to give up something about a party.
Woo!
Like a little good time party.
Like a SEX party?
Like some kind of little good time party.
Mm. Thank you, Joanne.
Oh, this is gonna be great. I mean, it's kind of sad if they bust out into a huge fight in the middle of the House floor, but at the same time, it's like this is who they are.
Mm-hmm.
This is
who you're voting in, people.
Yeah, this is Jerry Springer on crack. Bad TV. How will this impact her? Is going to close her off from certain things that she's not going to get knowledge to, certain secrets, because there's a loss here. And then certain things that she's going to be closed off from that are going to be suddenly revealed. And there's going to be persistent fighting, attacking, retaliation. Now, the coffin, the siphon, the whip, that can be sudden, like abrupt losses, but it's violent. Okay? And there's a secret here, or a project that people were working on around a sudden assault and a loss. Okay, are you picking up what I'm putting down? So perhaps like Jan 6 stuff, what they all worked on that they were keeping secret, a certain project, that's going to become a thorn in her side. So she's going to get cut off from those people, which is going to take away from her, but also there's going to be persistent retaliation once that investigation gets going, because she was part of that group that were in the know about that loss and how they were going to take it away and the violence that came from the loss, if that makes sense.
It's like Johnny always says about Michael Cohen, that Trump should have held him really close. It's the same thing with these people. They've got dirt on each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep them in your bosom, lift it up, put them under there, and put it back down again.
Like your Kit Kats.
That's what I was thinking.
Like your Kit Kats, Johnny.
Only in the wintertime.
Not in the summer, because it'll get
chocolate boobs sound nice, but it's really not. Sugar irritates. Thank you, Margaret.
That's why he doesn't like hugs. He's afraid we'll squeeze all his Kit Kats out.
He's squishing my candy.
You melted my candy.
chocolate boobies.
I can't breathe. Thank you, Hope.
Thank Oh, I got to sweat now. Wait a minute.
Just
What
gotta.
about your candy, Johnny? Take it out. Take it out.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Focus, Jesus. I got my candy in a bowl this time.
Oh, it's not in your shirt?
Mm-mm. It's gummy worms. It got too much
Those are
salt.
gummy worms? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it'll get real thicky on your boobs.
I can't do that. I can't do that. Unless I got to run by the car wash, then maybe. Oh, Lord Jesus. What was I talking about? Thank you, Lisa. Okay. I'm going to be an adult in a minute.
There's not an adult in the room, so don't worry about it.
That sounds bad too, though, to think about it.
It's Penny
Okay.
Boots. Come on, there's not an adult in here.
Wait a minute, where's my thing at?
Lucy's the only adult in the room.
That's why we have moderators, because there's no adult in the room.
Wait a minute. Okay. That's not the right one. I'm gonna put it up there anyway. There we go. There we go. There it is.
Buy a tiny ice pack for your Kit Kats and your Quicks.
Like them little small hand warmers in there. Put one under here, put one under there.
Like the little gel packs, like when you get an injury that you throw in the freezer, so you can put it on your wrist if you sprain your wrist kind of thing. You can put them under the boobs.
You want to keep cat? Oh, it's rather cold. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Self-contained. Anyway, how will this affect her in Congress? There's the 5 of Swords. There is defeat and the 6 of Wands of position and promotion and celebrity and all of that. They are going to try to take her down a peg because, mind you, they tolerated Trump. He was a poison. They tolerated her. Now she is too. Now, they know, well, can you keep saying they know this by now? I mean, you would think they would. But remember, Republicans are the same people who eat arsenic dirt and drink pee. And so it's not the type of people that logic is like the first step. No, it's like the 9th step after your arm falls off. So
they probably have their brains blasted by Jewish space lasers.
those type of people. And so she is having some defeat. The 2 of Wands and the 2 of Cups, the people who have aligned with her, are having some doubts and maybe trying to make plans to do other things. She still has one person here who is sort of in the trenches with her, 7 of Pentacles, Page of Wands. This person, however, will cling to any boat that passes by.
George Santos.
Probably so. He will cling, or he or she will cling to any boat that passes by. But the problem in all this, the word of warning, Queen of Swords, is her. So it's not even a thing to where it's an outside force. No, it's an inside force.
It's like word of warning to Trump. You shut your own mouth.
But the rest of us are going, no, keep talking. Keep
dig your own hole. So the other question for her was, will this affect her when she tries to run again? If she tries to run again. Like, since all the support is being yanked from you, does this have a domino effect now? Because maybe Republicans will go find another person to stand behind.
They're going to run out of crazies after that. Because she also said, like, no, we're not going to work across the aisle. She said the quiet part out loud, like, we are never going to work with Democrats.
And okay, we all know there's no such thing as bipartisanship anymore, but when Trump came along, he sort of undid the don't say the quiet parts out loud thing. He just started blabbering everything. Again, he drained the swamp so you can see the creatures. They were all saying this. Nobody was really bipartisan before him. Obama went through all kinds of crap with Republicans. At the same time, lady, hush. I'm pretty sure somebody is saying over there.
Yeah, I think when she seeks the House again, she is blocked. She's a big old problem and corrupt, and she is blocked. People are changing who they're partnering with, and running again. The votes, like, it's a big change for her. She's done. She's toast. She's going to be defending herself, and she might as well retire.
Go back to doing those weird yanking pull-ups at your gym.
Or her sharding squats.
Oh my God. I feel bad for whoever's doing your laundry, girl. Will it affect her? I get a yes. Now, I got the fox, the ring, and the garden. So this could be how she worked, how she was working and agreed to something that was happening within a network or a party or some sort of a rally. Okay, so it could have been her involvement to manipulate something for the party. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but there's an investigation into it. She's linked right there in the middle. She's linked to that network of people, a party, a rally. This could also be like a pack of some sort, but there's some sneaky manipulation and cunning stuff going on here that she worked on in regards to this. So I don't think so much. This could also be her work on being on her commitment to the party. So it's kind of like she's out there without a party right now because she's too crazy for the regular Republicans, even though they've gone. I'm
telling you, go run with the Tiger King.
Even though they've ran off the cliff already, she's still too crazy for them, but she's not crazy enough for the Freedom Caucus. Do you see what I'm saying? So I get a yes, and it's her link to a party or some sort of a rally or something. So who knows? Maybe she also made phone calls to Georgia to change something. Like, who knows?
I get the Page of Pentacles and the Hermit. So whatever support she may have is isolated, and she is isolated as well, especially when it comes to documents and finances and agreements and things of that nature. There's arguments and fighting, and she is going to have to go alone or go elsewhere, not necessarily go alone. The Five of Wands and the Six of Swords. Five of Wands is you're fighting, and then your Six of Swords, you have to go somewhere else. And so she can find another port in the storm. It's just not going to be strong as the RNC type of port. Word of warning, Five of Cups, regret, sorrow, loss, grief. You're on your own. She does have the strength in the end, though, so she can just find other crazies. Mind you, she still had people to vote for her. So even if she was doing all the QAnon stuff and all of the other, she still had people to vote for her. But she's been elected twice now. So it's not impossible.
It's interesting. I was reading an article where it said that only 12% of Republicans believe in QAnon. So that's a pretty small percentage.
Mm-hmm. That's still
it seems bigger. Like when they interview people at Trump rallies, it seems like it's a bigger portion.
Well, like Johnny said, it's because they're the loudest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on, they've been waiting in New York for JFK Jr. to come back from the dead. How many times now? Who was a Democrat that was going to help a Republican get back. Make that make sense, please. But whatever.
How mentally impaired do you have to be to think that JFK Jr. is coming back? Much less JFK Sr., who, by the way, was a Democrat, not a Republican.
He would be like 100 and something years old right now.
You might as well bring back Tupac, Martin Luther King, and Elvis too, and let just all y'all have your own little party. Called the Waiting for Jesus party because he's coming back too.
Jesus
So
Christ. Lord Santos will come in as Jesus.
Yeah.
He's carrying his bags.
He's carrying the cross.
It's far from Galilee, and I'm just telling you. Mamas for DeSatan, or excuse, I actually meant to say DeSantis. Mamas for DeSantis. His wife has got her own little group, if you will. They campaigned for him when he ran for governor, and she's doing that now, when he's running for president. Now,
his wife is running for governor?
No, when he was running for governor, this was her group. This is not the Moms for Liberty people. She started something like a knockoff, Moms for DeSantis. And so he's supposed to be protecting, the kids from learning about sexual education and all that. So the moms are standing up for DeSantis as he is standing up for them and their children's rights.
They're a homophobic group.
Yes, basically. And so what I want to know, though, is because it's not just a group, they do raise money. Is there some sort of corruption there, or someone being able to hide money to benefit DeSantis? Is he basically running a Trump grift through his wife? Because a lot of people have alleged, I hadn't seen, because I hadn't read anything on it, but that a lot of the hurricane funds, she had some sort of dilly-dallies with that too. So I want to know.
I keep getting he's going to have some kind of financial legal problem. So we'll see.
And it doesn't seem like out of the wheelhouse of her to do. So Moms for DeSantis. Is there any
I was going to cry the other day on TV because he's dropping in the polls more and more. Nobody likes you. You're the Ted Cruz of running for president. That's who you are now. You're the Ted Cruz. Even your own state doesn't like you.
With white go-go boots.
3-finger Roger.
That's almost too absurd to be false.
I got to get a 3-finger Ronnie t-shirt.
And then the ad Trump put out, that's the only funny thing he ever did in his whole life. Thank you, Beard.
It's like he's just a caricature at this point. It's beyond ridiculous. Yeah, they were saying in the chat too, he just signed a bill into law to get rid of alimony.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
permanent alimony, I think.
Permanent alimony. But here's the thing. Those contracts are made between a lawyer and the two divorcees. The governor does not get to step in and just say, oh, you're done with alimony. So if there is any doubt, unless your bigotry is more important than your pocketbook, which sometimes it is for these people, and you're one of these idiots that voted for DeSantis all these times and he just took away your alimony, have fun. Have fun.
There is definitely corruption going on in that. So justice here and her being trapped in it. She's going to be put in defense mode over some thievery, shifting some money around. So, yeah, I would say there is definitely a little laundering going on, or a little shifting of funds, or embezzling or something. Somebody's having a real good time. They're going to get the crap burdened out of them. I'm getting there'll be an indictment, and this will go to the courts, and that's what makes little Ronnie have to run and play in somebody else's sandbox. He's not running for president.
Is it corrupt? Oh, yeah. There's something here with the receipts, the mail, the results of where it's coming from. This is blockage and delays, but it's also an enemy, a very, very, very problematic enemy. So I don't know if this Moms for Whatever is a route that obscures money that's coming from an enemy. That's enemy right there. And it's hard to get to that proof. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's extremely problematic. So I would guess that it's not kosher. It's not up and up. I would look into it.
I get the Star and the King of Cups. It's not just money. It's something different. I don't get any money cards, but they need money to do this thing. It's moving something else. It's meant, because I got the justice above it too. It's meant to also maybe influence. It's a good word. Influence like lawmakers or people within the government, because I also got the Hierophant here too. So it's like people within the government.
Tit for tat, quid pro quo, like I'll give you this if you do this, sort of.
But it's a piggy bank, so hold this while it doesn't appear that it's coming from DeSantis. You do it, and so just like you said, it's hard to trace it back to, because the 6 of Wands is here, and that would be the person who would stand out in the center of attention, but the Hangman is there too. The King of Swords and the 6 of Swords, it comes from some man who does some sort of offerings to the moms, who then work DeSantis's plans throughout the state. But it's an influence operation. It's not, and the thing is, it's not meant to influence the voters necessarily, because that's what it's supposed to, on the surface level, that's what it's supposed to look like, because they're campaigning for him. But this is governmental with the Hierophant card. So this is something bigger than just the voters.
So
Influencing the kind of laws they're passing.
Yeah, to kind of control all levers of power, to basically cement themselves to where they're like a tick. It's almost impossible to remove.
Because mind you, keep in mind too, DeSantis does not care if Florida likes him or not. This is his last go around, so he can burn it on down on the way out, and he doesn't care.
But he should care, because if your own state hates you, what makes you think the rest of the country is going to be like, that's our guy? You know what I mean? Like, okay.
And speaking of which, the RNC, not the RNC, but I forget who exactly, but there is a loyalty pledge in Florida right now that is being passed around, that you have to pledge your allegiance, your loyalty to whoever the nominee is in order to appear on the Florida ballot. And so that sounds a bit strange, but that's Florida for you. So will everybody sign the loyalty pledge who is currently running for Republican?
Yeah, it almost sounds like bribery and election meddling.
Yes. You have to sign the pledge that you're going to be loyal to whoever the eventual nominee is, or you will not appear on the ballot. Which, how do you keep them off the ballot is what I want to know. But that's what's circling around right now. It's basically a Trump pledge. They don't want you to be out there popping off at the mouth if you don't win. Which still, he's going to do it once anyway. See, that's my thing, Chris. I don't even know. That doesn't sound like a legal thing.
Because here's the thing: the RNC is not a political institution; it is a private corporate entity.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a funnier question: is the RNC even going to be around since Trump nearly bankrupted them? He's probably still
Trying to keep people quiet and keep strength in the party here, but by doing this loyalty pledge. But I get there are some women in the party that are going to lie. So they'll take the pledge. Like, okay, here, we're committed, blah, 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 blah. They're going to lie about it and do their own thing. Go into that wait and see mode. Like, if they're not happy with who's nominated, they're going to cast judgment on it. It's not going to work because they'll lie.
I gotta know. There's some changes happening behind the scenes in this corporation, in this institution. So I don't know if that's the RNC in particular, because like I said earlier, they're not a legal body. They're a corporation, really. But there's some quiet changes going on behind closed doors. But there's one person in particular that stands out. That's like, yeah, no, go pack sand, because this stands alone. This is arrogance and ambition. This person may know of the changes that are happening, but they stand alone and no, I'm not signing that, or I'm not pledging that. So.
Yeah, I get all that. What both of y'all just said. There's two women. Currently there's only one woman running for a Republican nomination, right? And that's Nimarata.
Yeah, the one Nikki Haley, Nimarata.
I get two though, so I don't know if another one comes along or if it's just an opinionated woman who's on the Republican side.
Oh, Carrie.
Yeah, probably. There is a lot of lies, a lot of gossip and stuff like that going on too. So this may have a show of solidarity among the majority of them, but there's going to be a lot of people eating away at it too, because it may be something other states want to repeat, and it's not a thing that is going to go over well. But we'll see.
I mean, take your chances, by all means. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't let none of them on the ballot is what I say. But shut them all out. Well, speaking of shut out, though.
I got to go back to DeSantis for a second.
Mm-hmm.
What does his wife think about him eating pudding with 3 fingers? I have to be petty for a minute. You married this man. What do you think about him eating pudding with 3 fingers? Y'all got kids together. This is the example he's setting.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I get that she thinks what she thinks is not considered, it may be considered divisive in polite society, so she just keeps her mouth shut. There's the garden, the crossroads, and the book. So there's your society, there's it being perhaps a little bit divided, and so she just keeps her mouth shut. So it's probably vulgar, clutch your pearls. Oh my God, I can't say this, but
she keeps her mouth shut. But you want sex tonight? No, sir. No, sir. Don't touch me with those 3 fingers.
I'm sifting through all my YouTube appropriate words. Because everybody may not hate 3 fingers, but anyway, I get that she is the Queen of Cups is very prissy, if you will, kind
the
of
Queen of Pudding Cups.
Kind of uppity. She does not like it at all, but she keeps her mouth closed, so keeps it to herself.
Mm-hmm. Not considered.
What do you got? I mean, it's his quirk. I mean, it's like she's like, stop doing that. Get the bowl of spoon, then. Hey, what you doing?
I wish somebody'd start calling her Mrs. Pudding when they're interviewing her. Mrs. Pudding Cup.
Call her Mrs. Cosby. She really hate that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You give her cardiac arrest,
Let's jump gears completely. We'll get out of politics for just a little bit. Threads.
I've seen that. What is that?
That is the new Twitter created by Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. It is the competition to that's why I guess they've been going back and forth.
Just launched. I went in, I was thinking about downloading the app, but I started reading it that they sell off your phone number and your personal information, your location, and even your political leanings. They sell off all your information. I'm like, I am not.
So if it makes you feel comfortable, I actually was just before we went live, I was watching a video on the Wired YouTube channel, and the 2 scam experts were sitting there, and they say basically everybody has your info. That's what all the cookies do now that's why all the cookie notifications keep popping up on every website. It goes into an information farm, and then people just buy chunks of it at a time. Mm-hmm. And he said, even if you made reservations and you gave somebody your name and number, that's sold. If you put your name or your email address on some website because you want to be notified about sales. They sell that too. So everybody has it and everybody gives it. So if it makes you feel any better.
But here's the thing. That is not uncommon among social media anyways.
Yep.
Google takes your freaking info. Have you ever been on Google and just did a quick search, and then next thing you know, you go on YouTube and you have 8 million ads for what you just same thing. It's the same thing. So this whole, oh my God, they're stealing our. Why do you think Mark Zuckerberg kept getting pulled in front of Congress for all them years? Because of data mining.
Yeah.
I don't get the connection. Why I get manscaping and what's that? The new women's deodorant that you can even put in your butt crack.
Oh, commercials for that too on YouTube. Yeah. I was like,
with what I'm searching for on Google, it's like those don't relate to what I'm looking at on Google.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look. Sometimes the ads are not tailored to you. It's tailored to that person's audience. And so whatever their analytics say, oh, a bunch of guys between the ages of 27 and 43 watch you. And so we're going to show a Manscaped ad because.
Yeah. Lumi deodorant. Thank you guys in the chat.
But it's
you might have an issue if you need deodorant for your crack.
I just want to see Threads do well because I'm petty, and I want to see Elon Musk and the Saudis have to eat the billions of dollars that they're going to lose.
Elon Musk is suing the attorneys that were involved in the sale of Twitter because he said that they got a bunch of fees and they got paid basically. And he thinks it's not fair because, he overpaid for it. And they basically, I guess he think they should broker a better deal they're not your brokers, they're your lawyers. And so if you want to pay billions of dollars for something that was only worth millions of dollars, that's all you do.
Because he wanted to be big ego man. Look at me, I'm such a billionaire. I'm going to pay $44 billion for their social media network. That was worth a couple million, not billions. And then within less than a year of you owning it, you've tanked it so bad that it's worth maybe.
Whose fault was that?
Yeah, it's worth maybe 2 pennies with a coupon right now. So
the question was, will it do or will it be successful? Will it be more successful than Twitter? I'll say it that.
Will it surpass Twitter?
Because what else did they create it for? Other than
they had over 10 million people had downloaded it already on opening day.
Elon Musk has fired shots and said it's just Instagram with no pictures. So, and he's angry. That's all. He's just angry. He don't know what to do.
He's such a moron. Just get in your little rocket ship and just go. Just go.
Have they set a date for their UFC fight yet?
That's why I was asking Johnny. I was like, oh, is this what the UFC fight is about? Because out of nowhere, I started seeing that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk were going to duke it out in UFC. And I hate UFC because of Dana White when he showed his whole behind to the world about what a piece of crap he was. I mean, I used to like UFC back in the day, but now it's like, but now it makes sense. I was like, oh, I wonder if this is what the whole, sword fight is between these two,
That's what it looks like anyway. Because Zuckerberg is stepping into his field.
I get a yes. I get there's a corporation that's in trouble and one that does very, very well. And I mean, Zuckerberg went and stuck Musk went and stuck his whole entire ideology on Twitter and pissed off a whole bunch of people. So,
it's not even you are giving Zuckerberg the upper hand. Zuckerberg can create a social media platform and it could do okay, or it could do well, or it could do really well. That does not mean Twitter automatically tanks. It's the people involved in Twitter is what's making it tank. When you run a bunch of ads that are like QAnon and you run a bunch of commercials that were once banned and you unbanned them because freedom of speech, Okay.
And then you start trying to charge them for their check marks and stuff.
Freedom of speech, so long as what you're saying is in agreement with what I believe.
With what
That's not freedom of speech. That's censorship. And then not to mention all the advertisers that have fled Twitter because of what a dumpster fire it has turned into. Like, they don't want to be associated with that. So by all means, take some more money and set it on fire. You know?
I get the steady people going over to it. It's a fight to get people to agree, to come over. But I get a yes. A lot of people shift over, get stronger and stronger. The image of it is more successful. And I get ultimately, he's making more money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is great. Let him buy Fox News next. Maybe we'll be rid of it in like a year or two, because this guy is just as bad as Trump. Anything he touches turns to crap.
I don't get that Twitter does better in here, but I'm going to say it is because of what I do have. And this person and the ego of that person is extremely wounded. And so there's your Elon. Extremely, extremely wounded person, because I don't get the justice card, but I think he may try to take this to a court of some sort, like some sort of patent trolls or some sort of copyright thing, or he wants something to cling to. Now, mind you, all of this is just theater, so pay no mind to it. But he's wounded and he wants something official done, or wants someone in a higher court or a higher land to do something, because he's grasping at straws now. And in the word of warning, the sun.
But isn't there anti something laws for monopolies? Mm-hmm. So it's not like he can't. Oh, this is only mine. Nobody can have it. That's antitrust laws, my dear. So,
and mind you, he's got what Twitter is a thing where you can send out messages to people and anybody can read it or just looks at your page. That's not unique. MySpace did it before you, and Google Meetups did it before that. So it's like
MySpace had it before Mark Zuckerberg stole it.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing, Mark Zuckerberg is good at stealing people's stuff.
Because Facebook was somebody else's idea. He just took that too. So, I mean, both of you are pieces of garbage, but Zuckerberg wins this one, I think. Okay.
See though, because I want to see a fight to the death. That would be great.
Let's go. We'll stay in the land of corporations. And Budweiser has been tanking and tanking and tanking and tanking and tanking and tanking because of the whole Dylan, who was that Mulvaney person? Somebody, I don't know. It was a transgender person that they put their face on the can of a can of beer of Budweiser.
And then Kid Rock and all the right wingers,
all the people who still eat raw meat in the bayous of our country, they hated it. Which, okay,
I'm not drinking Bud anymore.
In the slightest vein of fairness, very slight vein. Know your audience.
But here's the thing. It's almost a blessing in disguise, because who would have thought wokeness would have helped so many people deal with their alcoholism? Okay?
Because if you drink Budweiser, that's what you drink. Pretty much.
Oh my God.
You're not going to go get Keystone, which is piss in a can. So the thing is, they've been tanking because their audience is the NASCAR crowd. No offense to anybody who likes NASCAR, but you know what I'm saying. The people who sit around and drink moonshine, and two of their cousins they got babies with them. Those type of people. Not all Budweiser customers, but you know what I'm saying. And so you must know your audience. And so that wasn't something that was going to fly. However, I do commend the CEO they have currently that said, we are going to stand by the LGBT community, and I'm not backing down. So
no, I don't drink a lot of beer, anymore. But when I was younger, I drank more beer, and I was prone to drinking Bud a lot of times when I was like in a bar or something, and didn't like their other choices. Like I drink a
because that's the one you drink, unless you fancy and you drink like a Sam Adams or some,
Heineken.
something like that. But everybody drinks Budweiser. So
I just don't like beer. It tastes like piss.
I don't like any beer. It tastes like socks to me. So that's just not my thing. Yeah, I like sugar, so I'm a sweet person. So if you put a popsicle in it, I might drink it.
But I mean, okay, so in light of everything, these people are going to have great health because they're kicking the alcoholism. They're going to stop eating Chick-fil-A. They're going to stop eating Cracker Barrel. I mean, it's almost like fasting for these people.
Which is a whole nother thing, because you can boycott whoever you want, but what does it do for you, though?
Pretty soon, they're not going to have anywhere to shop other than swap meets. Like
flea markets.
Flea markets and swap meets.
So my thing is, will their stocks continue to tank until they fire the CEO and shift all of this, or what?
The funny thing is, Anheuser-Busch owns so many other products, and half these morons don't even look to see other stuff they're buying is owned by them.
Mm-hmm. And see, with things like that, Gene, you can stop going to Hobby Lobby because there's still Michael's and there's still all these other places. If you drink a certain type of beer, you probably like that taste, but you're going to have to find you a new one. Which, I mean, there's plenty, so go ahead.
There's one silver lining to this whole situation. Bud Light, Chick-fil-A, Cracker Barrel, Disney, all these corporations that the executives and certain others tend to donate quite a bit to the Republican Party because they really benefit from the tax cuts. Their employees don't, but they do. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson that are your tax breaks better than your social responsibility? I mean, I understand you're a corporation and your only thing is to make money. I understand that. But it's time to stop and perhaps weigh the options here. You know what I mean? So that's just me making an observation. What did you get, Jenny?
Yeah, it's about their image right now. They're burdened and it's crashing a little bit, but the sun will come out tomorrow, as Annie's saying. In bits and pieces, it comes back. I get they end up being quite successful, and they come up with some new creative advertising or something, and I get their sales are steady and victory on this. I don't get the CEO moving on, anything like that. I just get that people start looking at them differently, and they're strong.
Well, didn't that one country music singer also, I forget, I don't listen to country music, but there was a country music.
Travis Tritt, and
there was one that's really famous, and I forget his name, that came out and was like, "You all don't like it, get out of my concert."
Oh, no, the Travis Tritt was anti-Bush. Garth Brooks just opened a new bar and restaurant in Nashville, and he said, "I'm serving it here in my restaurant. You don't like it? Too bad."
I get that they're going to be doing all right. There's a lot of desire for people that are perhaps, I wouldn't say loyal, but part of their customer base, certain families. And the man here, I don't know if the executive is a man, but this is telling me that there's a man here that is very persistent with the finances, and he's kind of there as the CEO. He stays. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that he goes anywhere for the stocks. It's going to stabilize and go back to normal. There's going to be support and help. Do you see what I'm saying? So I guess they'll be fine. It's not like they're going to go bankrupt.
I get the 3 of Pentacles and 2 of Cups. So outside of all of the stock and all of the everything, what they are also starting to come across is people who are famous are starting to support Anheuser-Busch as well. There's a few baseball players or whoever it was that just did some ads, and I bet you that a whole lot more are going to start doing that as well. People who don't drink beer, never even had beer, they are the right side of history thing is what brings people together, and that's something that the Anheuser-Busch, am I saying that wrong? Budweiser guy, is that Anheuser-Busch? The Budweiser guy, I don't know either. I don't want to keep saying the wrong word though. But the Bush guy, Budweiser guy, he's the one who said we're going to be on the right side of history, and so he's not backing down from this. But here there's collaborations and deals that are being made, and so there's going to be more ads and more celebrities, I bet, that are coming out because people are going to start using the platform with the page ones and the lovers to be on their side. So they're going to have a lot of support. That doesn't necessarily equal money, but it does keep the company from looking bad in the greater scheme of things. Now, customer base is still the customer base. I do get with the 5 of Swords and the 2 of Wands, King of Swords, they are going to try to go after the CEO, but this is more of a dirty tricks campaign or a bashing campaign type of thing to make it look like he's a weak leader and he's ruining the company, because they're already doing that. I think the previous CEO says that he's letting the company down and he needs to be a better leader, at least. So they're already throwing darts at him anyway. The Tower is here. It's in the Word of Solace. This is actually a good thing because you do need here. The word of warning is the structure, the 4 of Wands, and then here in the Solace is the destroying of that structure. Your company was possibly built upon something, a reputation that it may have that it did need to undo. And this may be one of those things where you have to see it as a blessing in order for it not to be so painful. And in the end, 10 of Pentacles, you'll be fine. But this is going to take some rebuilding after you tear down the structure, which, as I said, I think you need to do because there are certain companies out here that you know are Republican strong, and then some that you just assume because of the people who buy it. And so,
yeah. And like I've said multiple times, there should be social consequences for bigots.
yes.
So companies that like Hobby Lobby, Chick-fil-A, all these extreme right, you're entitled to have your religious views. Don't shove it down everybody else's throats. You know, you want to be a bigot, go be a bigot, but don't, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it's one of those things. There should be social consequences. And it's like you said, a blessing. Maybe now you can stop and look at your audience and go, yeah, we need a makeover. Because regardless of the money that we're making, look at what we're helping to breed.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, it's a corporation. It's
because all you did was put somebody's face, the face that was on the can, they sent it to the transgender person. It's not even like it was mass marketed, sold to everybody. And so it's one of them things to where, why does that upset you so much? Okay, I don't want you in my store. I don't want you buying my stuff. I don't want you blah, blah, blah. It was, what's that man's name? With the crazy eye.
crazy eye. The guy
was on that man. Bezos.
Oh,
Bezos, because he did some sort of LGBT thing where he like donated money or had some sort of pride. I don't know. It was something along those lines. And then people said, I'm boycotting Amazon because of that. And he said, fine, I don't want you shopping here anyway. And so that's the kind of thing I'm thinking. So anyhow, the next one, we got two more. Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, I love Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's, their stock went down a lot too, because on the 4th of July, they tweeted out, can we take this time on the 4th of July to give back the land to the people we stole it from, something like that, because we stole indigenous land and we're all on indigenous land. Let's take the 4th of July to give it back, basically. And so people just, their hair went on fire. So same question, will their stocks go back up? Will they be okay too?
I love Ben and Jerry's. They have really good ice cream, and I can never have any because every time I buy some, guess who eats it all? Like the other day, I went to Trader Joe's. Big mistake. I went there hungry, Johnny. So I'm wandering down the aisles, and what do I see? Key lime pie, and I said, "Key lime pie is so good for the summer." So I bought a little thing of key lime pie. I had 2 slices. 2. You ate the rest? Like, I can't even have pie in the house.
You have to find, he can't just like everything. You got to find some he don't like that you do like.
Well, he went to the store and got whipped cream and chocolate sauce because he went on the internet and they said that's how they eat it in Key West or Key Largo. So he went down to Trader Joe's, bought whipped cream and chocolate sauce, and he made me this tiny little slice, right? And I was fine with it. I was satisfied. He had one, then he went back downstairs and had another. And the next day he had 2. So I had 2 slices of cake or pie. And then there was 1 piece left yesterday. And I was like, can I at least have a bite? And he's like, no.
You know, 5 of cups. There's 3 cups on the ground, but there's still 2 standing behind them. Yes, they will be successful. They may even get like more attention because of this. And I get they're also like going to move into action on some sort of charitable thing. So they may start some kind of charitable donation. But I get, their stock comes right back up. They're strong, and their image, will continue to be strong. So
yeah, I guess that the results are, there's going to be news feedback news that the results for them, their stocks or results, they bounce back, they improve. So it's just kind of like a little bump, and everybody knows Ben & Jerry's is pretty freaking liberal. They endorse Bernie Sanders. Yeah, they're pretty liberal. So this is just a tiny,
I get the Wheel of Fortune and the 4 of Pentacles. They will be able to hold on, stand the test of time type of thing. This is not crippling. This is just bad publicity. Now, mind you, it's not really all that bad publicity either. It's just one of those things. The market is finicky and funny anyway, so don't even go there. But because we know you sneeze in the wrong direction, the stock falls 99 points. So it's one of them things to where I was working in the store once, and a lady told me she was buying Haagen-Dazs because she used to buy Ben & Jerry's a lot, but she doesn't like their politics. Okay, I didn't even know what their politics were because, again, I was not that invested in none of that back then.
You don't know what Haagen-Dazs' politics are. They just don't talk about it. They could be liberal too.
And who knows? Maybe they're Republican as well. You don't know. You don't know.
But I get as far as there's the Justice card, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles, they'll be just fine. They're cemented. Their customer base, I guarantee you, was not upset by their tweet.
No.
It was a tweet. Customer base is not rednecks with no money.
Like Ronnie said, his preacher, this is how much.
Yeah.
About
my mind is that amount open right there.
Yeah. If you're stupid enough to think that we own this land, you really need to go back and take a history class because it's stolen. It's stolen.
But don't take it in Florida.
Yeah. You won't even learn about that.
Did I hear that the guy who was falsely named in the lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court, is going to have a lawsuit now?
We read on that last week, and I think we all got that there was going to be action. I remember my spread specifically. It was man, lilies, and then like whip or something. So he's gonna get somebody. So, but I don't remember.
When they checked with the guy, he was like, "No, I'm a married man. I'm not even gay, and I did not, have a suit.
Yeah,
a lawsuit."
Yeah. So I think. When we read on it last week when Lena was here, and I don't remember you all's cards because I don't know tarot. But
I have to go back and watch. But I thought I heard something about there's a lawsuit now.
I wouldn't be
going to raise it back up to the Supreme Court.
And then I found out that who represented that lady? Josh Hawley's
wife. Yeah.
Yeah. You took on a whole fake case. A whole fake case.
Ain't that lovely?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Well, last company, Target, theirs has also gone all the way down. Well, not all the way down, but down because they had a pride display in their stores because it was Pride Month last month. And so they had a bunch of Pride displays, and they have also a bathroom rule to where if you are transgendered and where you go to the bathroom of your gender. So
Target has always been quite liberal, and I find it really interesting now that they're really trying to condemn wokeism in the U.S. Target has always had probably a pride display. That's just who they are.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, people are attacking them.
I remember years ago when it was an insult to see a woman breastfeeding her child. Remember that a couple years ago? Where, oh my God, you're breastfeeding! Because that's pornographic. You're feeding a freaking baby, And I remember seeing all these women being attacked at Target, at different Targets, like these maniacal, sex on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, missionary, no more than 5 minutes type of clutch your pearls, idiots, and Target was, their employees and their managers were like bringing the hammer down on these people, like, no, you do not come in here to harass people. And then there's also videos of these idiots, right wingers, that are just walking around Target harassing customers because Target sells t-shirts with rainbows on it for little kids, and they're all getting kicked out, and they're all getting, you know what I mean? It's like, why you gotta be a clown, dude?
Rainbows and unicorns have always been on kids' clothing.
Can you
It has
imagine?
nothing to do with pride, okay?
Their minds are going to explode next time there's a storm and there's a couple of rainbows in the sky. Like, I mean, yeah, evangelical crusaders. It's just
burn the Bible. There's a rainbow in there too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Uma.
As a promise from God, by the way.
Yeah. Will they be all right too? Same question for them.
Target.
I love Target. I'll go in there all day, every day. Walmart, I can't stand them.
I work for both of them, and
I don't know, man.
It's a lot better working for Target than it is Walmart. I didn't mind either one of them because it's all the same to me, just a different color. But
there's just something about the crowds at Walmart that's just kind of like,
that's the thing right there.
Crowd, Like, I'm surprised they're not walking in there waving their flags around. There's just something about.
And our Walmart didn't sell guns, but they sold ammunition. And we sold a lot of it at the time, too.
It's just ridiculous. They don't call it Target for nothing. They have nice stuff. I bet, yes, there's people that are committed or really committed to the store, and there's going to be significant improvement. It goes up. So, and there's also contracts here as well that are pretty important that go up. And this, so perhaps contracts with, how like Target does special lines under contract with certain celebrities and stuff like that. Like they have those people from HGTV show, and now they have another line. They always have lines, whether for clothing or home goods or whatever. So they might get into another contract with another person that raises more awareness and also helps to bring more. It elevates them. So.
Yeah, these people that try to be on a moral high ground, it's like, move along. You got other options, other places you can shop. I get they grow steady money and they grow. So I feel like they're going to do some kind of ad that they're working on now in the planning stages. There's some kind of ad that's really going to shake up things a lot. That'll be quite supportive.
And if you like graham crackers, I believe it's honey graham. Thank you, Beatrice. Is it honey graham? It's like in a yellow box, I think. Anyway, there's a graham cracker company that had not only a gay couple, but an interracial one at that. And they had a kid in their commercial, and just the world blew up. And so they showed their next commercial, Golden Graham Potato Graham. No, it was Honey Maid. I think that's who it was. And they had the next commercial was a bunch of people putting graham crackers in a row, and then when it knocked over like dominoes, it spelled the word love. And so it's like they didn't back down either, and they're still there. They're okay.
When Hallmark Christmas movies had gay couples actually kissing finally, and interracial couples in movies, it's mainstream now. It's not the woke crowd. It's mainstream. And tolerance and acceptance.
It's the way the world is. Again, those people that are anti-woke do not outnumber us. They're just loud and obnoxious. But I get the Ace of Wands and the Magician in the beginning, so they will be just fine. They will continue to grow. This is, however, too, you do need to see it as a blessing, because in the midst of the turmoil is how you will strengthen your messages going forward. And so you keep doing you, and the people will keep responding, especially Black Friday. So that's the time. But they'll be fine. Okay, does anybody know if Sidney Powell has any children that are grown out there?
I don't know, but I can.
Does she have any grown kids? Because I found the story. It's not all that important, but I just found it funny, so we're going to do it anyway. She ate them.
She has a son from a previous marriage.
Is he an adult?
Hang on.
I mean, it's not. It's not crucial to the story. I just wanted to tie some things together here.
Personal life. Oh my God, they got so much stuff on her on Wikipedia. Powell has a son from a marriage that ended in divorce decades ago, so he would be grown.
So there's a man by the name of Jesse Powell, who is a leader of a company. Cryptocurrency is what he deals in, mainly. His company is called Kraken. And so I just thought that's rather funny to have the two of them there, but his company is called Kraken. And he has been fined in the past $30 million by the Securities and Exchange Commissions. And he has been investigated for violation of securities laws. Right now, he had a search by the FBI that didn't have anything necessarily to do with his cryptocurrency business, but he has a charity as well. So it sounds like a money laundering thing to me, but that's being judgy. He has a charity that he funnels a lot of money through too, and they have been accusing him of cyber stalking and harassment, the people who work for the charity. And so, Jesse Powell, what I want to know is he laundering money through his cryptocurrency businesses or charities? He's been fined, mind you, $30 million by the SEC for his cryptocurrency business back in the day. He's being searched by the FBI right now, not for the crypto part, but for the charity part, because the people who work in the charity part say that he's harassing us because of this and that. And so
these people love embezzling from their charities too. It's like,
wait, what are you guys talking about? I'm sorry.
that's a mouthful. I would say all that again. There's a man by the name of Jesse Powell who has a company called Kraken, and it is a cryptocurrency company. And back in the day, that cryptocurrency company was fined $30 million by the SEC. Right now, he's being searched by the FBI in connection with a whole different case. So what I want to know is he funneling money or laundering money through his charity or his cryptocurrency?
FBI searched his home.
Mm-hmm.
Cyber stalking. He's 42 and Sidney is 67, so that could be her son.
The Kraken lawyer and her Kraken son.
I forget guessing he has for a long time.
Mm.
There's a history here of it. I tell you, Johnny, we need to get rich. We need to start a church or start a charity. Like,
I can sell red blood of Jesus prayer handkerchiefs.
yeah, and Jenny can sell over there her kitty nip.
I'll roll the handkerchiefs around. So they'd be scented red blood of Jesus prayer handkerchiefs.
Something's been going on a long time with this. And everybody's having a good time, even though there's some losses in the money. And I get this was like daily, routinely.
Hey, Susie, go order me a pack of paper clips and charge it to the account $2 million.
There might be keeping up somebody in their lifestyle a little bit, like a mistress or something.
Like a hooker?
An escort.
She escorts him to the hookers.
Oh, that's what Lauren was.
Yeah, Lauren Bobert.
This way, please.
Escorts are a little bit more high class.
This way to the back seat of the car, please.
All right. We're going to hell.
I mean, escorts are prostitutes. Just somebody that you just, if you don't want to eat alone, then you hire an escort. That's all that is.
She was a cheap date.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They're let me hush, but that's not a Budweiser joke. I won't make that one. Anyway. 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. There's always talks about loss, and there might be a church somewhere this is connected to too, or church where it doesn't look like the money is, because it's being donated to. I don't have a 6 of Pentacles that says donation, but I'm getting a hit. It's something to do with some sort of religious thing too, but you'll walk right past it. So it's not a traditional church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints type of thing. It's something else. But there's a lot of investments. The King of Cups makes a lot of investments everywhere, but there's a lot of schemes with that, with the 7 of Swords. So a whole bunch of schemes, and something is being covered up big time with the Moon. So yes. Okay, back into the land of...
Wait, where was it? What's the prosperity preacher in Texas that wouldn't let anybody... Olstein. Where was it? He hid all his money in the
wall.
in the wall in the bathroom. You know, Kraken should have learned how to hide it in the bathroom.
In the bathroom wall.
I mean, look at Trump. That's where he hid the documents. You're supposed to hide it in the bathroom.
Or in your ex-wife's coffin.
Oh, Lord.
On the golf course.
Yeah, on the golf course, yeah. And then get a tax deduction for it, because now you're a cemetery.
Yeah. Cemetery with a filing cabinet in it.
I know we've all speculated, but I'm telling you, the day that if it ever comes out, I will poop my pants, because it's one thing to speculate and another thing to have it confirmed.
To exhume her body and get it confirmed.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing but paper in here. What's this?
That says top secret.
I love the video Johnny did one week. He's what's in Ivana's coffin. and no woman ever showed up. And he tried 3 different times, I think, in that video, and no woman ever showed up. I'm like, I'm telling you, there's documents in that.
An old person in there. Mike Pence, I almost said Mike Trump. That's probably for a reason. Mike Pence, he admitted that he called the then governor of Arizona on behalf of Donald Trump, but he said he did not pressure him to change anything in the election. Is that true? He called Doug Ducey, was that the child name?
Yeah.
He said he did call him about the 2020 election, but it was not to pressure him.
He called what's his name to find out if he could, overturn the electoral college votes. What's his name? Bush's VP.
Ross Perot?
Not
Bush's
that guy. VP.
Oh.
I don't know, what is his name? Y'all tell me in the chat. He called him, a former VP, to find out, can I do this? It's like, you're not a good man if you don't understand the Constitution well enough as to know that's illegal.
He knows the Constitution as well as he knows his
Quayle.
Yeah, Dan Quayle. Thank you, Sharon.
Here's my thing. I don't care if you pressured him or not. Well, I do care, but for this one sentence, I don't care if you pressured him or not. You are the vice president of the United States calling anybody. There's automatic pressure implied. And so what was the conversation about? Hey, how's the weather down there in Arizona? No, that is not what you called him for.
How's your electoral college votes going?
Uh-huh.
How many votes you got for Trump and me?
That's what you called him for. But he said he didn't pressure him. Is that true? He just called to say I love you. That's all. That's what he said.
That's all. I just called
to say I love you.
Johnny copyrighted, but I got that. Okay, first of all, here's the phone call. Very shocking phone call. Perhaps maybe he got a little bit emotional. There's the phone call. They were trying to maybe brainstorm some creative way to do it. But there was discussions about how they were going to delay this and manipulate it for the transition. So, like Johnny said, you don't need to pressure like Donald Trump. Well, I know where your wife lives and I know what you're like. Not like that. Just the phone call itself. It's already. So, yeah.
I get. He's probably contacted other people in the network also. Trying to change things from how America voted. I get he burdened him, power played him, called him up, tried to get him to agree to the plans. Well, we know what the plan was, the electoral college votes, swiftly, trying to hang on to the votes, and, break it down. So, he's going to blame mother though.
Blame the fly.
Blame Jenny.
There's a betrayal here that he definitely.
King of Wands and Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is pressure, is strain. The person under pressure, the person under strain. So I don't really even need nothing else, but there's the King of Wands. There's a leader somewhere. That's not Mike Pence. He's the King of Swords. And then there's pressure. So this person is under pressure. The person talking to him in the government with the moon, Hierophant and the moon card was being cagey. So maybe they weren't coming out and said, find me 10,000 votes, 10,210. Oh, you still lost though, but find me 10,210. No, but he was being cagey. And, do you like your kneecaps? He probably didn't go that far, but a lot of stuff was implied with the moon card.
Yeah. Did you get the John Eastman memo of how we're doing this? Yeah.
Creative solutions.
And mind you, Mike Pence didn't tell anybody until it was exposed. And then there's the Tower. And then the Six of Wands. So did he pressure him? Yes, he did. Was he telling the truth? No, he was not.
And he had to get forced to speak to special counsel.
Mhm.
He took that all the way to the court, and the court said no. So
Well, speaking of courts,
he
So
sure
wonder he
does
has
lie,
flies on his head.
lie a lot for being a good Christian.
He
Okay,
stinks. He gets flies on his head.
that man.
and speaking of stinks, so perfect transition. Rudy Giuliani
Oh my God.
is they are pressuring. It's not confirmed. There's no proceedings that are happening as of right now. They are pressuring for him to be disbarred in Washington, D.C. So will that happen?
Melting, broke-ass. Rudy Judy. 4 Seasons, adult bookstore crematorium with Giuliani. I can't remember what else we've added to that name through the years. It has grown.
Looks like Mueller. Mm-mm. Mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm. Well. Okay,
He's been disbarred in a few places already, hasn't he?
I think so. It was not him. It was somebody else. I got another question on disbarment, but I might get them mixed up there, or might have the people mixed up.
I got a yes. And it's also going to bring him some financial trouble. I mean, he's already in financial trouble. But there's lies and betrayal here and trying to cling on to power, or how he was linked to someone in power over lies. And also, this brings even more financial trouble with his agreements that he's under contract for. So, yes, he will be disbarred.
Yeah, judgment's on him. Move along, Rudy. That judge, you're out in the cold. You can't get your license. I'm getting all this stuff about his corruption with the electoral college votes and all this other stuff with Trump that's changing. That looks to me like he's about to get slammed by Jack Smith.
Thank you, Rose Bloom. Is that the Scooby Doo song? Because that's what's playing in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I get there's 2 men here. Don't know who they are. Maybe they're the people who are pressuring this to happen, because there's a strength in the 5 of Pentacles. A very, 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 very strong push to push somebody out in the cold type thing. But the thing with the strength card too is they have the ability to do it. So this is not just the empty threats. Right now, it may be words and barking right now, but they have the strength to actually do it. Magician and Ace of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles. That's my America card there. So there's that. And then it ends in the 10 of Swords. So I'll believe it when I see it, but it looks like, yes, he will be disbarred, because this is ruin and loss. And then word of warning, forced to walk away. So we shall see. Lynn Wood, there's a name from the past. He was the
crazy.
Yes.
He's as bad as MTG.
I'm gonna pull a picture of him, because I ain't heard his name in a while. That way you can, maybe it'll jog your memory or something.
But which one was he?
He was the lawyer for Trump who tried to overturn Trump's laws. So he has been forced to give up his license in order to get away from charges.
Down in Georgia. He begged them to let him
retire
and hand in his license as opposed to taking it.
Yes.
Which means that, because once one state takes your license, other states usually jump on that. He did a lot of the fake lawsuits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, will this happen to Sidney Powell? Will she be backed into a corner and go the same route? Or is she going to right the ship to the end? She's a piece of work.
She's nuts.
He hires only the best people.
I thought Sidney Powell had already been disbarred in a couple of states. I'm not sure which ones though, but I get a loss for official lies or lying about the government. Also losses and then huge legal trouble here. Big legal
Frivolous lawsuits.
but big legal problems. So.
Yeah, she's about to get indicted over the big lie and covering up so much stuff. She's about to get
Jen,
Smith.
do you mean to tell me they're not going to bring Hugo Chavez in back from the dead and put him on the grand jury? Talk about how you didn't turn
This is her karma now. It's just loss after loss after loss. Tower's on her.
I get the Ace of Swords and the Hangman, so there is some suspension of some sort because of truth or information that may come out. Now, as far because the question was, since Linwood submitted to his fate and gave up his license and retired, I'm asking more so, will she do the same? Will she try to get away from charges by saying, okay, you can take it all type thing? I don't think so. I think what's going to happen to her is going to be devastating in a way, because there is a huge, huge change that brings a lot of devastation. And so it's almost, we say in the South, you don't believe fat meat is greasy. And so it's one of them things to where you have to believe the evidence. You have to believe what you see. And if you know this is going in the wrong direction, do something about it, lady. But again, I understand that between here and here, there's very little to nothing. So I get it. So she's got a huge change that brings a lot of devastation, and her work is also going to be scrutinized, and a lot of judgment is going to be placed upon you. Word of warning, and the word, or at the end of the reading, is the King of Swords. A lot of investigations too. So
I have a question, Johnny. Wood turned over his license to not be disbarred, correct?
To not be charged, I think they said, or something.
No, to not be disbarred.
To not be disbarred, because I was going to say that is some BS. If you're a lawyer that committed a crime, but then you're like, here, take my license, don't charge me. That's BS right there. Like, I would riot. I would riot.
I'd be taking that license. I'm thinking about all these crazies, like just hundreds of them, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. In 5 years, are we going to see a little bit of a return to normalcy in the Republican Party, or will we still see whacked out, power hungry, lying, greedy assholes? Will there be a shift in the next 5 years in the Republican Party? Return to normal conservative, not greedy, corrupt? Once a lot of them are locked up.
Just makes me wonder, I mean, is the crazy now the status quo? You know, because I mean, anybody with the brain.
It was, I guess, was it always crazy? Just wasn't out loud, is all it is.
It was crazy. I mean, you can go all the way back to Nixon. They just kept their dog whistles and their BS behind closed doors, and like I said, dog whistles. And then in comes Trump and the crazies, you know, well, the Freedom Caucus before Trump, and they just let that.
I mean, way before that, one president says no slaves, and you're like, well, you're taking all my labor away.
Yeah.
Oh, people, why are we down here? Return to normal?
Doesn't look like it, does it? It's like, even though they're separating out from Trump, they're still the party of Trump. They're still corrupt, ego, even though their strength has suffered a loss, they're trapped in this cycle and they're still just fighting it.
And their answer is double down on horrible policies that nobody likes, but keep doubling down.
And patriarchal society,
I mean, look at how unpopular it is to take away women's reproductive rights. And what are they campaigning on? We're going to make it national. There you go, ladies. We're going to make it national because we are expert doctors here, and we are here to tell you that when you're pregnant,
states' rights,
I get no. It's a huge problem. They may try to find some creative way here to market themselves as transitioning away, but it's a problem. It's like they're backed up against a corner. There's no return to normalcy if there ever really was normalcy.
A normal conservative party.
In modern times, because they've always been racist. So they're just going to find somebody else to otherize besides Hispanics and people of color and gays and transgender. They'll find somebody else,
They never accomplish anything when they're in office.
No,
other than tax breaks.
Except messing something up.
Yeah.
Tax breaks for the wealthy, and that's it. That's the only thing they've done.
Will it return to normal? I did 3 by 3 here. There's out of 9 cards, I got 6 majors. It's going to take gigantic changes in momentum and energy for it to happen. They don't really do large change very well. And so it starts with Justice, Page of Swords, 7 of Wands. You have to defend against the lies. There has to be some balance against that. And we know that's not going to happen. That's not even being judgmental. That's just looking at history. And so they do not have this conquering the lies thing down, because this is kind of their bread and butter, because they lie to their base. And I'm going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. Okay, let's go vote for that guy. Never told you how, never told you why, never told you none of that. So it's one of them things. All I need to do is lie and you'll believe it. The star, the chariot, the sun. So it's one of them things. All this is basically saying you need huge shifts and momentums and a rebranding of your whole party, and that's not going to happen.
Let them lose the next 300 elections and let them go by the way of the Whigs before they're like, oh, maybe this doesn't work,
Maybe we're not doing anything that our constituents want.
And like Johnny was saying, we're going to build the wall. They fed the American public that line of BS for the full 4 years that Trump was in office. The wall, the wall, the wall, the wall. The minute Trump's out of office, all of a sudden we have an immigration problem. I thought you told me he built the wall. So did it not work?
And meanwhile, Bannon is charged with grifting off of build the wall.
Defrauding people about building a wall.
But they even go back on what they tout as an accomplishment, because according to them, they built the wall. It was big, it was beautiful, it was perfect. They didn't have any problems. The minute Trump's out of office, we have an immigration problem again. So did you build it or did it fail? It can't be both. You can't have it both ways, so. Mind
you, there's a video of Donald Trump speaking about his wall and defeating its purpose all in one sentence.
Yeah.
He said, we're going to build a very high wall and you can't get over it except, I guess, maybe with a large ladder. Okay, then you're done with the wall talk, sir. Well, speaking of Trump and Walt Nalta, is that how we say his name?
Yeah.
Waltine. He has pled not guilty, which means he wants to go to trial and gets lawyers and all these things.
Oh, he finally got a lawyer and got his arraignment done?
I guess.
Yeah, he finally got a lawyer.
My question is, will Donald Trump abandon him? He's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of secrets, and that seems to not matter to Trump. So
he's his little valet that even when he goes to get a Philly cheesesteak is right beside him at the window.
Will he abandon him?
The prosecutor said he's not supposed to talk about the case with Waltine. He is.
Of course.
He's right there beside him every day.
Because Michael Cohen should have been the lesson, but here we are.
Another one bites the dust. Another one goes under the bus. The Scooby-Doo bus.
What was it called? The Dream Machine? What was that thing called?
The green bus that the Scooby-Doo
It
gang.
was called something machine.
The Mystery Machine, wasn't it?
Mystery Machine. That's what it was. Will he abandon him? Yeah.
I get that there's a very widespread, very vast betrayals that are coming his way. A lot of betrayal. I didn't tell him to move that. He did that on his own. You can see it in the security footage. That's all him. I didn't know it was in there. You know, I declassified him. The one that was moving it.
The telepathy is strong with that one.
That the naivete is astounding, and yeah, we're gonna hear about it. And Trump's gonna say something negative about him. That's a big old yes. Shifting any protection of him. Trump's gonna bully him right under the bus. Da-dum.
Yeah, the Mystery Machine. Da-dum.
Wheels on the bus go. Dum, 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 dum.
Exactly, Johnny.
Will he betray him or will he abandon him? Was the question. It starts with the Magician and the Three of Cups. Him and some other three other people, or three people total. Too. There's a group that's not just him. So Walt Nauta, whatever his name is, Waltine. He's got some connection to maybe two other people or three other people that are also going to be dragged into this case. The Seven of Swords and the Eight of Wands, there's your schemes and your lying, because there's your communication, there's your scheme. So we've got some lies going on that these three people here have maybe even once told somebody one thing on the record or told an official something, but it's damaging that they lied. Now, mind you, lying is one thing, but it being something that is used against you is a whole nother. So there's something that's used against those people. But as far as will he abandon him, confirmation, Ace of Cups, yes, he will. Because with all things, once it becomes too hot, too heavy, he has to try to escape. You do not have to be the fastest, just faster than your friends. Just push them down, let the bear eat them. Keep it.
Donald Trump will throw his own kids under that bus. You watch.
He's the guy, like, you know, in scary movies when that monster's coming and chasing people through the woods. Donald Trump's the guy that's pushing all the people in front of the monsters.
Will the DOJ investigate Florida or DeSantis for the kidnapping and transporting of the migrants?
I thought they were already investigating because there's talk of a lawsuit for trafficking.
The Gavin Newsom is asking the DOJ to investigate, and somebody else is asking the DOJ to investigate Texas too. But right now, the DeSantis is on the front burner. Or will they do it?
They were saying all of them will get that were sent up to Martha's Vineyard are getting green cards because of it.
So now they're witnesses.
Because now they're involved in a crime, they get a green card just like that. They don't even, barely have to apply for it.
And I think Newsom here in California is looking to go after DeSantis because he was busing people over here too, which, cool. You know what? Here's the thing. I just had my whole backyard slope here cleaned up. And you know who always comes over here to do that hard freaking labor? An immigrant. Because I don't see no white people out there busting their butts in the sun doing landscaping or agricultural work or any of that. It's all immigrants, and they're here working just like everybody else.
Yeah, it's the families that are bullied and manipulated. This is going to grow. So I get, yes, they're going to look into this. There's going to be quite an investigation on it. It'll take time because it does involve trafficking. But yes, they will. Structurally, it's trafficking.
So the first set, I get man, dog, and bear. So this is a man that is committed to power, or a man that was trusted with something financial. Okay, so they look into it. It might be in regards to where'd you get the money? Because that's a huge load of finances. That's not like little. And then here I get something that was unethical and very abusive. So here's something that's unethical, that's argued, very, very, very abusive, that doesn't work out in his favor, if that makes sense. It works out in favor of this older person here that's wise, that's bringing the argument that he's going to be satisfied with. So I would say yes, but it's almost like they're looking at this right here, the finances, where the resources came to do all that.
Because the DOJ is not, I don't think, investigating trafficking. Because Gavin Newsom is having them, well, he's pressuring the DOJ to investigate something else.
What is it that it's not the traffic?
I didn't see the word traffic. But that's what's happening, which is why they're still getting investigated for that too. I get the Ace of Wands and the Three of Cups. So yes, there's a confirmation you're answered. Seven of Swords, there's a scheme behind this, and then the Lovers and the Two of Cups. There's others. And so this is a web of things. It's not just DeSantis in Florida. This is the people who he paid, which was one of his friends or something, to fly people this place and to bus people this place and to trick people into think they were doing this. So it's a scheme, and it's a web of people. So it's not just him. So this is not one of them things that's going to be done next week. So
wouldn't it be fantastic if little mini Hitler over there in Florida if he's so delusional to think that he's going to become the next president of the U.S. and then he is no longer governor because he's stormed out, he doesn't win the White House, and then all these legal problems get dumped on him, that would be karmic justice right there.
Because the RNC ain't going to help you.
I gotta believe he's gonna end up in jail. That he's done some things just so horrible. Can we ask? Will the Satan end up in jail? Does he serve any time? I just see lawsuit after lawsuit on him.
And some of them are criminal, and Lord knows what he's doing with money, because the resources in Florida are just disappearing. They're just disappearing. COVID relief funds, hurricane relief funds. Nobody knows where it went.
That's a big fat yes on the bottom.
Oh.
I asked if he would be indicted. And I got results of a charge or a target to do with transportation. So this would be like,
I get it's over transportation trafficking.
But it would be great if it happens after he's out of office. So then he has no power and he gets to sit there and contemplate what a horrible human being he was.
Yeah, he'll be fighting it because it's a total betrayal. We'll be fighting it. I'm getting something comes up that he may get 4 years.
Good. Unfortunately, that's not long enough, but good.
It's not long enough, but
don't eat your pudding with 3 fingers in prison. That sends the wrong message.
They might take one of those fingers off. You see him in prison.
Don't drop the soap.
Never mind, drop the soap. Don't eat the pudding. So to your point, though, I get the person center of attention, him sitting in his power with the Six of Wands, complete. Wheel of Fortune, the World card, and then that's when he defends the Seven of Wands. So there's a bunch coming at him when he's out of office, out of the governor's office, because the Six of Wands would not show me president. That'd be King of Wands for me. And so he's not going to win the presidency. Now, as far as will he be arrested, I get yes, I don't believe it. But, well, you know, I get two yeses, not just one. I get the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Wands. There's information and action. So it may be one of the things, too, to where, remember, Trump was arrested is what I like to call it because it sounds better. He was. It could be that type of thing, and then he just goes into court forever. But the thing is, after you're out of office, you have no political support because what are you going to do for me?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It would be brilliant. Because the legal system takes a long time. So go ahead and keep swinging your three fingers in everybody's face and wait till all of that comes back to you when you ain't in office.
It'll be like Kyle Rittenhouse, that they wanted to take to Burger King after picking him up. They'll take the Satan over to 7-Eleven, pick him up a pudding cup in these little handcuffs. It's hard to eat with three fingers when you're in.
Like I said, don't do that in jail. That sends a bad message.
I read, I was reading the headlines and I saw this, so I had to stop. It said Michigan GOP and the words, he kicked me in the balls. And so I'm like, okay, let's read this story.
Literally or figuratively.
So what had happened was Marjorie and Take Two, I guess, somewhere else in the world. James Chapman, a Republican from Wayne County, told the paper he traveled to the city of Clare, is that how you pronounce the C-L-A-R-E, to join the party, Republican Party. They had a meeting at the Doherty Hotel. But the meeting was reserved for members of the state committee. Not everybody, not all Republicans. It was just the state committee. So Chapman said he went to others outside because there were people outside that couldn't get in because it was shut off to everybody else. And they begin to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. So they couldn't get in, so they went out and said the Pledge of Allegiance outside. Because, spell casting, that's what you do to open doors, is you recite the abracadabra could have worked too, I guess. But anyway, they went outside and started reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Then I guess once that was done, because it don't take but 2 minutes to do that, and so he went and tried to jiggle the door open. That's when Mark DeYoung, who chairs the Republican Party there, said he heard the person attempting to open the door and he took his glasses off. And so when he takes his glasses off, he's ready to rock. That's a quote.
He's ready to roll.
So he goes up to the door, opens the door, and immediately kicks the man in the nuts.
Please tell me it's on security tape so I can watch it.
Now, mind you, that part is alleged. That he opens the door and just went wow with the foot and just kicked it right between the uprights.
Oh, Lord.
Both of these are Republicans, mind you. And one Republican wanted to end the meeting and the other one was trying
got
to
a vasectomy.
by force. And so he kicked him in the nads and they went down to the floor. I guess he went down to the floor because how could you not? And so then he started to get beat up because he wasn't really in a position to defend, I guess. Now, Mark DeYoung does admit to assaulting him, but not that part. He said what he did is he opened the door and he took his legs out from under him, which if you kick someone in the nads, that will do it too. But he's basically saying he tackled him to the ground. And there's other reports that says not only did he kick him in the
What's
nads.
the equivalent of a male cat fight?
Yes.
This is like over an MTG all over it.
And so he said that he pushed him over a chair, and so he's in the hospital. James Chapman,
Bless
the
his
guy
heart.
who twisted the door. Because he says he has a cracked rib or a bruised rib or something like that. Has a bruised rib, and he does plan on filing charges and things of that nature. Now, the question I have is not even about them. I just wanted to throw that story out there because it's funny. Is this going to be commonplace in the Republican Party, where you have two Republicans who are supposed to be on the same side just duking it out? Because
they don't have a Louisville Slugger in the room.
Nobody is saying that the fight didn't happen. It happened. They're just giving different accounts. He said, I opened the door. No, he opened the door and kicked me right in the nads. And the other guy is like, no, I tackled him to the ground and then beat him up.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Oh, goodness.
Ooh.
It's an alley cat fight. So is this going to be common? We're going to hear more stories. If so, I'm bringing them to you. Just let you know right now.
Wait till some man punches a woman in the face. That'll really rock the world.
They'll probably do that.
Not that far off, because there's such misogynistic pigs that I would not be surprised. Like I said, I do not condone violence, but I see that coming. One of these days, somebody's going to get real pissed off at PG running her mouth, and she's going to get decked. Right in that ugly horse grill.
Oh. Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. Ooh. I mean, listen, as long as y'all hurt no kids nowhere, you go right ahead.
Shut her up. I'm here for it. Have fun.
Two horrible people with horrible ideas, you go right ahead.
Yes, first card, because they're like trying to sneak away different commitments for different things, and it's going to be steady fighting in that party, in the government, steady emotions overrunning, steady.
You know who I would really like to see get punched in the face? Lindsey Graham. I would
in the nads.
Thank you, Claudia.
Ted Cruz. Can somebody please?
Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell. I have a
Wonderful.
whole list.
They should change the name of their party from Republican to Ballbusters.
I get a yes. There's one man here that escalates something to try to outwit or outmaneuver another person. But it's all yes, but it's almost like to one up another person, outmaneuver, outsmart, outfox another person. But I get that it escalates. A man escalates something in a very manipulative way. So I get yes.
Y'all, it won't be Holly doing it. Holly will run.
Oh, yeah, he'll run.
January 6th. He's a coward.
There's all sorts of interesting rumors and speculation on the Twitter machine about Holly being a closet gay because they showed pictures of him and his wife kissing. And his wife is like,
he's very,
kissing him, and he's like this. So she's kissing him, and he's
like
that. Not
he's
even.
He's a germaphobe.
Mm-hmm.
No tongue.
No, not even lips, because he's like this.
No lips.
No lips. So,
no lips, no tongue, no touch, no.
Nope.
Hey. Okay, bless her heart then. I can imagine what the rest is like. The Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Will there be more? Yes, there will be a lot more, actually. And it's not... What's crazy, too, this is not like some random encounter with the two Republican fools at the IHOP. This is around their job. So you will see them at work somewhere, because these two, they were in an official thing. Mind you, he went out and I pledge allegiance to the flag. What is that supposed to do exactly? That's going to make them open the door because you did the Pledge of Allegiance? Like, anyway, theater. That's all they know is theater. But it's going to be like at work. They're going to do a lot of this stuff at the place where they work. There's going to be a lot more abundance with the Empress and Seven of Wands defending, throwing chairs, that type of thing. And mind you, these are all grown people. These are not teenagers.
Maybe if they quit having meetings in hotels
I mean,
that has a bar probably on the property.
No, I encourage drinking in sloppy, angry drunks, please, by all means.
this is not the world, so we don't have a completion of lessons. This is where you learn your lessons. And so this is going to be for some time because that's how the reading ends. So will we have more? Yes. So I think we should start taking note. We got Marjorie versus Boebert and then Chapman versus
Wait,
Tracy,
we got to change because it's Marjorie versus Boebert versus that Laura Loomer person that jumped in and called her a.
Yeah, it's
So,
a
but she
three-way
is
now.
a bee because she looks like a dog.
Three-way cat fight with the dog involved.
what kind of dog? I mean, I don't like all of them. So
A yappy chihuahua. She called, MTG a dog, so it's got to be a yappy chihuahua.
Lord, and okay, so I got thank you, Judy. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Lucky Girl. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you, Uma. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Claudia. And there's one more and I can't find it. So thank you for the super chats. Thank you all for coming out and joining us, all 1,800 of you. Next week we are on Jen's channel and we'll see you there. Same.
Why don't we do next week on Becca's and I'll do the following
and then
week.
switch it around? Okay.
Yeah, let's flip it next week. So Becca's next week.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll do you next week, and then I'll do the next week because you won't be back yet.
You'll be here next week. And so anyway, so we'll be on Becca's channel next week, and then we will see y'all when we we'll see y'all
Get
next
your nip here.
For those of you complaining, there it is.
So we'll see y'all.
Bye-bye.